Are we going to be seeing an Australian invasion in mining? Joining me now is the co-editor of Exploration Insights, Joe Mazumdar. Joe, welcome back.
Thank you, Danielle.
So I chose an Australian theme for us. I thought it was fitting since we were both at the Noosa Mining Conference this summer.
That's right.
And, you know, Australia is a hot topic, hot zone these days. Are they going to be overtaking the mining sector here?
Well, I guess what we're seeing is that if we looked at the people coming to the Denver Gold Show as well as to the Precious Metals Summit at Beaver Creek, one of the increases has been the Australian contingent of companies. And, you know, we saw Northern Star, a producer, a mid-tier producer in Australia, purchase the Pogo asset from Sumitomo. And that asset and how much they paid, around $60 per ounce of reserve, was very accretive. And so it seems like they're filling a gap with some companies here that are maybe a little gun shy in doing any acquisitions because they've taken blows before and write-downs. And so what they prefer to do is placements, joint ventures, earn-ins, lower risk, whereas these guys, I personally think that these Australians might be thinking the growth is not in Australia Pacific. Maybe Australia's got some advantages, but I don't think that they're too keen on the Pacific, whether it's Indonesia, the Philippines, and places like that, which are prospective, but geopolitically not great places. So then they're coming to the Americas. And, you know, they love assets in geopolitically low-risk jurisdictions. They get a premium. Nevada as well. I mean, before, years ago, I mean, Oceana came in and they decided to put in a definitive footprint by buying Hale, the Remarco asset. Newcrest has come and done a lot of deals, whether it's been Ecuador, they've done deals in Chile, and they're managing a portfolio of exploration projects, and they opened up a decent-sized office in Denver to work on their projects in the Americas. So they're really focused here. And now we're seeing the mid-tier producers come here like the Northern Stars. So I agree with you. I mean, your question is saying that what are these guys going to do for growth? Because their currency is actually well valued. Because they've been riding a very weak Australian currency, so a very high Australian gold price.
Oh, I just noticed their presence at this show, right? So you wouldn't be surprised then if an Australian, were to take out a junior here.
Absolutely not. We've already seen it. I mean, it's not a leap of faith to say that, and they're absolutely looking.
So they're more optimistic given the gold price that we have right now than you would say majors that we see in North America?
Well, I mean, they're coming into a different environment, mind you. They're coming into U.S. dollar prices, costs, and potentially Canadian dollar might be better for them, but, it's a different cost structure. But also they're bringing their comparative advantage. They know how to mine, and these guys are not doing anything.
But, and last time we spoke, though, Joe, you said you wouldn't be surprised if the next big gold discovery were to be in Australia. And we saw news of, a huge gold deposit perhaps coming out of Australia.
Well, I mean, Australia's not dead in terms of that, but in terms of maybe relative valuation, you're like Joe Foster was saying yesterday, there were some Australian companies that are trading at all-time highs, and so their paper might be the best that they've got it at right now to make an acquisition in shares.
I had Brent on yesterday. Your call. I know. How do I tolerate him after all these years, Joe? How do you tolerate him as co-editor?
We live far apart.
But so we spoke about peak production, and I got his thoughts on it. How do you see it? What point are we at? Are we there yet?
Well, peak production is assuming a flat gold price. If gold price changes, suddenly all these other deposits that are uneconomic that nobody would find capital to build find money. So I'm not into the peak.
I get viewers emailing me all the time saying, I've read stories that there's not going to be any more gold after 2035.
Really? Why 2035?
I don't know where they're getting that date from, but or maybe it's perhaps the same person emailing me every day. But when you hear talk of that, like
I would say
is there still gold?
The peak gold issue on a gold price of 1,200 is an issue, because it's hard to find economic deposits at 1,200. If I lift the price to 1,350, suddenly I can find a few more.
Thank you for settling that for us, Joe Mazumdar. Finally, are the Habs going to win the cup this year?
Depends what cup you're talking about.
All right, Joe Mazumdar, thanks so much. And thank you for watching. We'll have more for you on Kitco.com. Thanks, Joe.
Thank you.